Shazam!
That might have got in. Because you said that as soon as the thing went
Yep,
up.
it got in there.
Oh, Jesus.
Man, that's fucking
I'm glad
great.
you did that because, it worked. And you transformed, too. Look at you. You're such a beautiful, handsome.
Oh, look at that. I am so fucking talented.
Yeah, you're just a beautiful man here.
I apologize to the people wearing headphones because your ears are probably gone.
You just blew them the fuck out.
They're just dead. fuck just messing with their ears. They're actually just gone.
Dope. I'm actually hearing.
Yeah, it just the
to Great Point Live. Yeah, that happened. So yeah, there was some. I'm appreciate y'all after joining us after the racism we pulled off last night. It wasn't really racism. It was just funny. I had fentanyls in, and the stream started after the bad thing happened. So the delay saved him, essentially.
Well, shit. Well, it's fine.
Yeah. George is like, all right, I'll get you next time.
yeah. It's always next time, motherfucker. Won't be safe forever.
That's right. We're gonna go chill with some Hebrews now. We'll see you later.
See y'all niggas later.
Okay, so let's get down to business. So Bleeding Cool put out an article today, and it's very clickbaity when you actually read it.
Well,
very clickbaity. So they say DC Comics selling almost half as many comics a month as it used to. This makes you think, the way it's written, it makes you think that this is current, like this is news. This is new news.
Mm-hmm.
No, as was pointed out, I was when I watched I had read I'd already read it and kind of made the same conclusion, but as EVS put it earlier today, it should say offering almost half as many comics.
Right.
Because selling implies that, sales are down, so they're like cutting them in half,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, I guess we'll try to read through Rich
That is
Johnson's
kind of
drivel.
a little bit dishonest in the
Mm-hmm. By the way,
headline
folks, if you noticed on the screen capture, I do have this archived. The reason I have this archive is not because I'm trying to prevent Bleeding Cool from getting clicks or anything. It's because they got the worst fucking pop-ups and ads that I have ever seen on a fucking website in my entire life. And that's why I archive. That's why. Because yes.
Because yes.
Because yes.
Apparently, the stream started after
the
Shazam.
Somebody said they didn't get
that. Makes me sad.
Well, what can you do? Like Wayne said, I'll get them next time.
See, this is the doctor already said what pretty much has been pointed out. This is the first step towards some actual change. It can cause titles to grab more readers.
Yeah.
Hey, Mata, how you doing?
If you focus more effort in fewer titles, then
Mm-hmm.
because then, especially if people want to get into comics, they're not walking into like a comic book store and there's just like overwhelmed with walls and walls of what look like the same character over and over again. Like,
so let's start reading Rich Johnson's drivel. By the way, Rich Johnson is a terrible writer. It's just so bad.
It's kind of an unfortunate name too.
Rich Johnston. Yeah.
Yeah.
He should just went off and just called himself Dick Johnston.
Yeah.
Just.
Well, I mean, he could call himself Double Dick, Double Donger.
I'm Double Donger Dicky. I bet if he couldn't write, he'd be selling used cars somewhere.
Probably with a name like that.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes.
well, from what?
Huh?
Or from what you're implying, he can't write. He's just for some reason still getting paid to.
well, I should say if he was not employed as a writer or whatever, then he'd probably be selling used cars. Okay, let's get to the point. We've noticed how DC has canceled Titans, Damage, and Scooby Apocalypse. I don't know why I don't even know why that's a thing.
The fuck is Scooby Apocalypse?
They took.
I didn't even know it existed.
Characters in an apocalyptic setting.
But why though?
They did it. They did a lot of Hanna-Barbera characters like this. They did like the Flintstones, and they made like Fred like some depressed war veteran. They did a Snagglepuss comic, and they made him gay.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it got so bad. It got so bad that Hanna-Barbera said, "Okay, guys, that's enough. You can't use our characters."
Yeah.
Literally, that's.
They didn't change anything. Snagglepuss has always been fucking gay.
The implication that Snagglepuss is gay is like, well, yeah, okay. I mean, that's kind of
just took it to the logical extreme. Okay.
Yeah, but the thing is, they made him a theater major and all this stuff. You know, it's kind of dumb shit. You know, I think with Hanna-Barbera,
they always said exit stage left. What the fuck do you want?
Yeah, but I think with Hanna-Barbera, it's like leave that to ambiguity. Don't.
Yeah, like you leave stuff to the imagination.
Yeah, like, and Hanna-Barbera's also like, we're trying to market to kids, you moron.
Hey man, there's gay kids.
You know what? I'm gonna kick you out of here. You're making my life hard. I don't like that. No, I'm kidding. So this comes after canceling almost all of the DC Age of Heroes line, the disappearance of the solicited Batman and the Outsiders, and the other history of the DC Universe, the non-solicitation of promised Black Label comics, and the dropping of many of the twice-monthly schedules. And the effects are notable. See, this is, like I said, this is all saying these aren't being solicited. This is sales, you moron. Mm-hmm. This has nothing to do with sales.
Right.
Yeah.
So, in 2018, DC Comics published fewer titles every month in comic stores than Marvel. But in December, what are you laughing about?
Sorry, the fucking chat is all about that dude's name.
It's kind of like when we were doing the retcon on X-Men. It evolved into X-Puns. Fine.
I love our chat that we get. It's great.
Yeah, they will start wilding out after a while. It's funny. Let me catch up with the chat.
Mm-hmm. I was gonna say, I think that's the thing we've kind of cultivated. Like they saw the bullshit and tomfoolery that we get involved in, and they're just like, we're just gonna say random shit because they know we're gonna read it eventually.
Yeah.
Like Wayne's doing his thing, like I want to have a nice and proper show. Be like, excuse me, Wayne, I need to interrupt you by reading this glorious thing in the chat.
Right, this funny thing.
There was a urologist, my dad knew, Dr. Richard Tapper.
I had a teacher whose last name was Fizzletwat.
I'm calling bullshit.
That might be true. You never know. You know.
I mean, to be fair, the 4th grade, I had a teacher whose name was Miss Coon. And, and she wasn't black.
Mm-hmm.
If she was black and named Miss Coon, I'd be like, well, that makes sense.
See, if I was gonna be a porn star, my name would be Richard Fitzwell. Okay.
Actually, what was really funny is in my middle school, we had a Mr. White and a Mr. Brown.
Let me guess. Reversed.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mr. White was brown.
Mr. Brown was white.
Mr. Brown was white. Yeah. I'm like, how do you end up with those last names?
This is Kilpatrick. Poor Patrick. He got killed too early. Where was I? In 2018, DC Comics published fewer titles every month in comic stores than Marvel. Gee. That's like saying water is wet.
Right?
But in December, they dropped to their lowest level, 52 single issues and 37 collections, compared to Marvel's 90 single issues and 38 collections. Okay, I mean, one's one. So
it's like they're both handling the comic book, getting money problem differently. Marvel's like, put out more bullshit.
Right. And DC's like, refine our bullshit.
Yeah. Dial it down a little bit and just work with what we got.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. At the beginning of the year, January 2017, DC Comics published 89 single issues, more than Marvel's 86. Now the beginning of the Wonder Comics line at DC may have helped those numbers, as have Bendis' creator-owned books. But looking at the April solicits, there are 54 single issues listed, and 3 of those are final issues. That's probably a good thing. Of course, DC Comics have 6 titles through Walmart, and another title through Target. The comic stores can't sell them unless they actually go into Walmart and Target and pick them off the shelves. For many stores, that's impossible. Guys, I can't go to Walmart and buy those. Just letting you know, it's so hard.
That's probably fucking better than going through Diamond.
I'd rather buy my
Just use Walmart now.
I'd rather buy my comics at Walmart and then sell them in my store than get them
Go through Diamond.
I'd rather avoid the mafia if I can.
Jesus.
Hey, I'm Steve Geppy, man. I'm sorry. That's a mafia name if I ever heard one. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah, that's true.
The odds are, though, through 2019, the traffic of sales looks like it will be away from comic book stores and other venues. Marvel has started discounting bundles of comics in Walmart, which we found out last night because Gail Simone was really excited that her Domino #1 was in a grab bag.
Was in a grab bag
in a $5 grab bag.
I mean, that's one hell of a deal, man.
Yeah. $5
in a comic they sell for $4 for in a grab bag that's $5. Yeah, shit.
I think
but isn't Marvel no? But isn't #1s like don't Marvel #1s?
They're usually like between $3.99 and $4.99. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Are they?
Yeah, they are.
So yeah, still then yeah.
So essentially, I think they sell those bundles for $5, and those are usually $3.99 or $4.99 books.
Mm.
So you're basically buying one and getting two free, in a sense.
Yeah.
So she was really excited that somebody might have gotten her book for free.
I like too how it looks like the only way they would have checked out Domino is because it happened to be in that grab bag.
I know. Wait a minute. So it tells me they must not have been a huge fan because they didn't go to the comic book shop and buy that shit. They got it at a
they didn't go out. They didn't go out to get Domino #1. They were just like, oh, I got Domino #1 in this grab bag. Guess I'll read it.
Oh, gentlemen, I have. Do you know how many comics? Because I will ask, how many comics come in a grab bag?
How many?
10.
In the Marvel grab bag?
Well, the DC grab bag at Walmart, it's 10.
Okay.
Let's see. See if I can find one for. Let's see if I can find one for Marvel. But I'm sure they're the same price for the.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the list price is $35. They sell it at Walmart for fucking $5.
Damn.
And again, it's like the Harley Quinn #1, Robin Rises Alpha #1.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
They have Batman. They have Superman. Fucking Grayson #2. Like this is like not old shit.
Mm-mm.
I mean that might explain why shit's not going so fucking hot. Just
saying.
You're paying 50 cents a piece for these. Yeah. Like that's a good deal. Like you couldn't get deals like that back in the fucking 90s.
Mm-mm. You know what's really
is that the Marvel ones too, or
I would assume so.
Okay, you're ready to see some of my autism, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, looking at this, these lists that they have, with the publisher, comic ship, blah 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 blah. I have an issue with that. Why is Marvel on top and DC on the bottom? It's supposed to be in alphabetical order. DC should be.
Yeah, it should be in alphabetical order. I sent some bias.
Do you think Bleeding Cool is trying to push the Marvel agenda?
I think they might be.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow.
I feel very cheated right now. It's not cool.
Yeah, I just noticed that. But anyway, so they're going by month, like comparison of titles and how many they had, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. My feeling on this, and there won't be no chat here. My feeling on this is DC's doing the smart thing.
Okay, they've got 25 grab bag for $20.
What, Marvel?
Yeah, on the Walmart website.
From what I'm seeing here, looking into it a little bit more, if it's like the brand new stuff, like the stuff that's been released like this year, they're like 3 for $5.
Yeah.
Which still, that's like $1.50 or like $1.75 a comic.
Yeah.
Which again, 90s prices. Which is really bad if you're selling something that's like brand fucking new.
Yeah, or relatively brand new. Yeah.
Yeah,
Especially
and then if you're looking at
number ones and stuff like that too, like
yeah, and then some of the older stuff that's been like out for a couple years, that's where you're finding like 10 for $5 or a 25 pack for 20 because it's stuff that's like not as current.
right.
At least one Deadpool comic in every pack.
Is that like when you're getting a pack of Magic cards, it's like at least one rare or mythic rare? Is that what Deadpool is? Deadpool's the mythic rare.
Yeah,
this is showing a bunch of number ones, but it's got the crow in it. What?
yeah. The doctor said Domino 1 came out like 4 months ago, so it's not an old book.
Oh my god! It has a warning on it. It says product can expose you to some chemicals, which is known to the state of California to cause. For more information, it doesn't actually say.
I mean, that's on everything though.
I know, but it's just funny. Like it contains chemicals.
The state of California thinks everything causes cancer. So
yeah,
I mean because
everything does.
Yeah, reading these books will cause you to have cancer.
I mean, yeah.
But no. So getting back to my point, DC's actually, if you look at this as a sensible thing, they're doing a smart thing. They're trimming back the fat, the things that do not sell, and putting more effort into stuff that does sell.
Right.
So I don't understand why he phrased. I mean, if he has the agenda that it looks like he does, that trying to push the Marvel stuff over the DC stuff, because I look at it as less is more, right? Well,
yeah.
If I can save sending out 2,000 issues of The Outsiders or whatever, right? What was one book that got canceled? Oh, of Titans, right? Let's say if I could say putting out 2,000 to 3,000 issues of Titans, but I can ship out more Teen Titans,
right,
to compensate that, that's a net gain. That way you don't have to go through a different printing process for a totally separate book. You just print more of the book that's already being printed.
Right.
So the way this is phrased, I mean, of course, it's just it was a clickbaity title, and all that.
Yeah,
shit.
it's very poorly written because it's very confusing and probably purposely so.
Yeah,
I have no reason to believe that this guy is not trying to shill for Marvel.
Yeah,
be like, oh man, look at all the books that Marvel's selling.
I think most people, especially people in chat, could tell you that Rich Johnson does really try to. He does hold Marvel's water a lot. So, not surprising. Not surprising. I mean, this is the website they put Renfamous on their top 100 influential.
Oh my god, that's right. Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Somebody who's never written or drawn a thing in a comic is somehow one of the most influential people in comics.
Yeah.
It's one of those days you just like look outside and you say, I just want to burn it all down. Burn it all to the ground.
So yeah, Dick Wiener isn't even good as a clickbait writer, I'm guessing.
Dick Wiener.
From the Dick Wiener.
Dick Wiener.
Rich the Waterboy Johnston. You think he goes to after he writes an article, he goes to Marvel, and says, please, may I have some coochie, please? Can I have the coochie, please, boss?
Jesus Christ. There goes Piper's fucking giggles again.
The Piper giggles have started.
There it goes.
Stop!
We're not. All we have to do is point out the fact that you're laughing, and it makes you laugh harder.
I know. Stop.
There she goes again.
I don't sound like that.
Yeah, you do.
Nuh-uh. I'm gonna have to actually listen to one of these
go back and
streams
listen to the stream later.
Yeah,
like, oh,
Wayne's trying to be nice, and he's like, I'm not gonna say flat out that that's what she sounds like, but
you might want to, I'm just saying, you might want to check it out, just to be.
Yeah. Let's listen to one of our streams. You'll hear because you turn into a fucking giggle slut every stream. So.
What is the fuck is a giggle slut? Wow.
You're just laughing for everything. Spreading your giggle legs for fucking everybody.
So yeah, Owl was I cannot pronounce your last name. I'm gonna call you Al.
Wazakashi.
Thank you, Weed Man. Piper's giggles are adorable. Lol. Yeah. I mean, it's not. It's fine.
Well,
it's fine.
I speak in giggle really because
Giggle slut. The exact thing you're doing
I've
right
noticed
now.
like you'll say something and then kind of give a little like that little giggle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's nervous. It's nervous laughter.
The doctor giggle slut. The exact thing you're doing right now.
Yep. See, I know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Whew. I gotta breathe. Yeah, no, I'm used to, and something else I'm used to my whole life is people ask me what's so funny when like nothing's funny. I'm just like, nothing. Just don't talk to me, please. I think she does. I think she's fluent.
One thing that Nerd does really bad is like, she comes into a stream. Hello, like whoa. Cut it back about 5 octaves there, darling. You know. What's going on? We're talking about Piper's giggles. Sorry.
We're making fun of Piper as we do on every stream.
So yeah. The point in fact, you know, DC is doing the fucking right thing. Right? They're doing the right thing. Scaling back.
I mean, maybe.
But I think it is still a symptom of what's going on with the industry. It's, you know.
Yeah.
I think DC is kind of recognizing, we're putting a lot of money into printing these things that are not selling. Let's not print those anymore.
Right.
Yee.
Granted, where it's due, DC is not as they still do it, but they're not as predatory as Marvel is when it comes to like number ones and alternate covers and things like that as often. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Because like you know the post we read a few weeks back where the guy was talking about like, you know, number 1 will have 5 alternate covers, number 2 will have none, number 3 will have 5 alternate covers, number 4 will have none. How the fuck are you supposed to know what to order?
Right.
You know?
Exactly.
Yeah. So
yeah.
DC doesn't do that as bad, but you know, they still do it.
Yeah.
So, but this is a temporary. How would you say it? A temporary fix to a long-term problem.
I wouldn't even call it a fix. I would say that they're heading in the right direction. I think honestly, if they cut themselves down to only releasing like maybe 30 books, they would be in a really good position.
I will tell you that DC, until they get it through their thick skull that it doesn't matter, they will never release less than 52 books.
Right.
Because they got this whole idea, 52, that's our big thing, 50 universes, blah, blah, blah. I said, you only focus on one at a time, who gives a shit?
Yeah, exactly.
So just release
not cute.
Good books. You know, don't worry about it, that you have to release 52 every so often. Because, I mean, in my opinion, that's kind of a dumb thing to go by. Like, we have to have 52 books in circulation at least, you know?
I hate to pull out the weeb card, but Shonen Jump does really fucking well, and they're only releasing like 15 books every week.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, they only have 15 concurrent series going on. Could you imagine DC doing that? Like, you have your Batman, you have your Superman, you have your Flash, you have like Green Arrow, you've got a Justice League. Like, you have like
hit your main boys and girls.
Yeah,
you know, hit
your main boys and girls. Get your hard hitters. You know, get a Wonder Woman out there. Get a Green Lantern. Get the things that people care about, and then get a couple of like crossover shit if you need to.
Yeah,
or a couple team books. You know, something like that. You don't need to have 52 fucking concurrent books coming out every month. You could again cut it down to 20, cut it down to 30.
Yeah, and like Doctor says, release only great titles with great creative teams, and you turn your overall brand into a brand of high quality.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know? That's basically saying, for the sophisticated comic book fan, we go to DC Comics because they have the best writers, they have the best artists, you know, yada yada yada, you know. So,
and they will show us PP.
And they will show us their bing bing.
Come on, man, you want to see PP in comics?
You know, it's funny how they say like a lot of the Black Label comics are dropping off the solicits, and it's really all because of the Batman's dongle. That rocked people so badly. They're like, I didn't really want. I mean, granted, I've read adult books before. I've read Preacher. I've read Sandman. Things like that.
Right.
But I think it gets a little bit different when all of a sudden it's Batman's dong. Like, I mean, am I wrong?
It's the bat dick.
Yeah. It's
Bat
like
dong.
Batman. Bruce Wayne wanted to show us his Dick Grayson, and I was a little bit upset about that.
Is that how he defeats Catwoman once and for all? Bat dick?
What was funny? He said he's getting ready to go into the bedroom, and he says. He's talking like Dick's in the room, and he says like, "Well, Dick, it's time to go in." And he's like, "What are you talking about? I'm not talking to you." Yeah, see, there you go. See, White Knight, Batman White Knight 2 is going to be under that label. That'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
And it fits. White Knight will fit in that label. But there was no need for Bat Dingle. That was literally a situation where it's like, we need to be edgy. Show Batman's penis.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's kind of edgy, isn't it?
And the editor said,
What was the problem? Was people not impressed?
Is it kind of stubby? Does he have a chode?
I was gonna say, was it little?
People were more upset that he was circumcised than anything else.
What? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's I was like, well, you realize that he comes from a time period where that was, more acceptable. So
now I'm gonna look up this.
You're gonna look up Bat PP?
Let me see some Bat PP. Let's see.
I was looking at it.
I'm not going to show Bat PP on the stream, guys. Don't worry. They can look it up all they want.
Why are we still talking about Batman's dick? You must be new here, man. Okay, so I'm looking at the Bat PP, and look. I'm gonna out myself as a fucking degenerate. I've seen a lot of fetish artists and a lot of like kink artists who do like really nicely drawn dicks. That is not a good looking dick.
Yeah, that looks like it was drawn by somebody that hasn't seen a penis.
Yeah, it's just like.
That's what I'm saying. Like, Bat Dong was basically just an outline in shadow. Is that what you're seeing?
Yeah, it's like you see like he's mostly in darkness. There's some light coming from behind him, and you see like a little bit of light on his ding dong. You're like, oh, okay, there's a peep there. I see. You don't show this on stream, Wayne. But here's the image.
Okay. Yeah, it's not even like it's a big deal.
It's not even that big a deal.
Small.
I thought it was going to be like
there, and it looks weird. Yeah,
I thought for sure it was going to be like what, like light from like God rays illuminating the fucking shaft and shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was. You know what? Doing that makes it even less of a reason to show it.
Yeah,
there was now it's like really no. Just that was literally somebody wanting to be edgy.
Yeah.
That's literally what that was. It's just fucking edgy bullshit. It's like, I just want to show, hey guys, I'm going to show
never mind. I'm not going to tell anybody.
I see it going in and out of a vagine bone.
I agree. It should. If it's not going to, it's going to be some bullshit.
But yeah, I have now seen the dingle dangle, and it's like, and honestly,
there wasn't even that much.
If that's all you're going to draw, don't draw it.
Well, yeah, and see the thing, and here's the problem, because I feel like the artist kind of like chickened out, because you look at this image, which I assume is from the same thing, where you see nicely sculpted bat ass, and I'm like, okay, at least like that's well drawn. I'm like, okay, I can appreciate that. If you want to show him nude or whatever, yeah, just fucking go full force. Don't be like, we're gonna show the shadow of the dick.
Yeah. So, and, it's funny that he leans right too. If you,
they backpedaled fast.
Yeah, they did backpedal on that freaking hard. It was kind of funny.
My favorite thing is this website called I Am Bored. They measured Batman's dick.
Oh god.
because like his thumb is approximately 29 to 39 pixels, and his penis is 130 pixels.
So that
Wow.
means he's what?
He's packing.
Oh.
So his dick is like 3 times the size of his thumb.
Well, I mean,
I guess that's impressive.
I hope Batman wouldn't be.
Oh, 3 times the width. So just 3 times the width of his thumb, which is not that's less impressive.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
He just has. He'd
Wow.
probably have a hard time fitting. So or something.
That no one.
He showed me the same thing. So Batman is like 8 inches. Well, he's above. He's 8 inches. He's above average. You know.
I don't know. That seems kind of stubby.
I mean, what are you packing like 13 inches there? What are you doing?
No, I'm just saying. I'm just saying that don't look like 8 inches to me.
Well, I mean, we're not talking about an erect penis either. You know, it's like you're just flowing in the breeze over there.
I don't know, man. I mean, if that's supposed to be a flaccid donger, it looks a little bit rigid. You know?
Well, it's
Yeah,
half in
it's kinda
shadow, so
like-
we really don't know.
Partway.
I just
This stream is quite
had to measure
focused.
pee-pee.
And now we're going to focus on something totally different because I'm tired of talking about it. So, yeah. This is from comicbook.com. And this has been going around for a couple of days. It's apparently a subject of discourse.
Fucking doctor. That's not excited beating up criminals. He's got his fetishes like everyone else.
I mean, whatever gets your rocks off.
But
right?
he's got to be wearing the suit. That's
Oh, yeah,
part of
yeah.
the fetish.
Got to be all bound up, is what you're saying. Anyway. Anyway.
Go ahead, Wayne.
Superman comic draws criticism for showing torture and murder of Lois Lane. So now we're going to totally opposite. The latest
Wasn't this
Walmart
the same comic where she got raped?
That's what they claim.
Right.
So let's read this. The latest Walmart exclusive 100-page giant comic book, Superman Giant number 7, is stirring quite a bit of buzz on the internet, but not with excitement for the Tom King penned story. Tom King penned story. So it's not Tom King penned.
That was cute, though. That was cute.
Yeah. Instead of the repeated torture and murder of Lois Lane across the issue's pages that have fans in an uproar. The issue, which officially went on sale in select Walmart stores today, sees King paired with artist Andy Kubert on a Superman story that sees the Man of Steel languishing in an intergalactic waiting room. While there, his mind begins to wander to some dark places, presumably out of anxiety. How dark are those places? It seems that the issue contains 12 pages of Lois Lane's brutal and graphic murder over and over again, including an opening splash page that sees Lois gruesomely shot in the head by Lex Luthor.
Yeah,
by the way,
getting
guys,
shot in
if
the
y'all
head's
can- if y'all can find
pretty
images,
shitty.
if y'all can find images, I'll be glad to put them up here.
Of what?
Of these things that they're talking about.
All right, let me see what my autism can turn up.
And I will continue reading.
Yeah, I was gonna say continue reading.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do it because I'll end up laughing in the.
Yeah, you're gonna fucking ruin everything.
Yeah.
The idea of violence in comics itself isn't what's at issue, though. For most of those speaking out on Twitter, the issue lies in two specific places: the intended audience of the book and the fact that it's a female character's imagined extreme suffering being used to further the pain of a male character.
Oh
no.
my god.
A variation
Fred
of the women in refrigerator trope. God fucking damn it!
Did they flat out write that?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Wayne, you have to understand. Also, I posted. Yeah. So yeah, she gets shot in the fucking dome.
Mm-hmm.
The thing I gotta say, that's a good page though.
You know what? Let's
Like
put it-
especially that final panel with her the fucking eyes. It's
You know what?
great.
Yeah, that's actually some pretty freaky art.
You know what? We're putting it up.
Yeah, we should. I mean, there's
I'm
nothing
doing
too
it.
bad about it.
I thought she got tied up and tortured.
I mean,
I
I
am
just,
disappointed.
So it doesn't show her actually getting shot in the head, but you know she got shot in the head.
well, yeah. I mean,
With
it
the
shows the
blood.
aftermath.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The blood and the eyes. That's really well drawn. That's some good
That's
God,
really good art, man.
Man,
Yeah.
I threw my keyboard so hard that it went to the mobile version of comicbook.com, and it looks a lot better because they don't have the bullshit everywhere. I'm sorry, Lance.
I mean,
everybody, I'm sorry I got mad about that, but it just
he got
every
got
fucking time.
What?
Well, I mean, you had to know that it was going to come up at some point.
Mm-hmm. Of course,
it had to.
Nicole Drum. I bet if we look her up, we can see a lot of fucking social justice-y bullshit.
I mean, this is comicbook.com.
Yeah.
I do love like Lois Lane snuff comic. I mean,
what
they call the Lois Lane snuff comic? Really?
If you go down after like the text,
all right,
when it's doing its slide 1 of 7,
so I can get to the slides again because the slides don't show them.
Now, okay,
the way they're writing this is like she got like tortured and like worse. I don't know, and stuff.
The way it's reading, it's that Superman was basically having a crisis of his, in his own mind, like kind of like what's going on without me there, kind of thing,
Right? Yeah, it's like something over 12. Something over. Let me.
It's just. Women in refrigerators. God damn it.
Motherfucker. Okay, so she actually just got shot.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, from what is being said, there's like 12 pages showing her repeatedly dying from stuff. I'm trying to see if I can find images.
Yeah.
And they're ignoring the fact that that's his imagination fucking with him.
Yeah.
I mean, do you expect okay, my question is this. Wayne, you remember Injustice?
Yeah.
And Lois Lane died. I don't remember hearing a peep out of fucking anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Because she fucking... I don't know, man. It just seems weird that people are being really fucking picky and choosy about how a female character... Specifically a female character. Because they don't give a shit how a male character dies.
That's what I was going to say is what's pissing me off is that Joker alone has done such fucked up shit to male characters.
Mm-hmm.
and I think...
Yeah, Mata Nui said in the chat, says, should I just buy them Emperor Joker because this sounds like the same thing, only it wasn't real? Because they did the same thing in Emperor Joker like 10 years ago.
Right.
Probably.
Well, the thing that I think is funny is...
Yeah, it was okay then.
That image is the only image I'm able to find because anything else is talking about how like the numerous amount of times that she's died. It's only coming from like comicbook.com and a bunch of these fucking bullshit article houses.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really like nobody's showing these super graphic scenes, and you'd think they'd be showing it because the only image that I'm finding
that would be the only proof they had that it happened.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. The only image that I've been able to find from Superman Giant number 7 is that one right there where she gets shot in the fucking head.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see if I can.
As Florence just pointed out in the chat, seen an SJW on Twitter admit they choose what they are outraged by. Not not anti-Comicsgate, but still, SJWs really do pick and choose what to get mad about. I mean, that's absolutely.
It's true. Our poor women's.
The women, we respect
the
women.
How dare they be interesting characters or have bad things happen?
Yep.
So like I'm looking through a video that I think let's see. It's from Bleeding Fool. And they linked a YouTube video and it showed one page where like each panel is a different way that she potentially might be dying.
Mm-hmm.
But like you mentioned, it's like it's Soup's having like it's in his own head. He's like, oh shit, what's happening without me being there?
Yeah.
Which I don't think that's the first time a comic has done this.
It's like somebody said in Emperor Joker, how many they went through like scene after scene of Joker killing Batman.
Right.
Over and over and over and over. Torturous ends just because he could. Because Joker, he had omnipotent power. So what was he going? What would the Joker do with omnipotent power? Torture Batman.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of what you do.
Yeah. So is that fridging?
Maybe.
Well, okay. So she ultimately gets killed at the end of all the by Luthor.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Was he killing her specifically because Superman, or was he killing her because she's a nosy ass reporter?
Well, see, that's the thing, Kuiper. You have to remember, fridging, as it is defined in the trope, is any time a female character is killed to advance a male character story. It doesn't matter why she was killed. If she is killed and it advances the male character story, that's considered fridging.
That's stupid.
Well, no fucking shit.
Because that's any time fucking anytime a fucking woman dies, period, you can say it's to advance somebody else's story.
Well, that's why it's so fucking easy.
Oh my god.
I want to remind everybody that Gail Simone built a career on this trope.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's the thing. That's why, like, when they're talking about fridging, it like who actually cares, because you have a great number of comic book characters who their entire backstory is based off of a family member dying. Right. Batman, Spider-Man, Superman.
Yep.
Isn't the same thing with Green Arrow? Didn't his family bite it?
I don't know if his family bought it.
Eventually, sort of.
It might have had something. Yeah, I think so, because I think his family.
I thought that was.
And he was like on some island or something. That's how he learned how to be a marksman and stuff like that. And then he came back and he took over the family company. Blah 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 blah. Yeah.
Yeah, like there's so many characters who, like, that's part of the tragic backstory, and you can, like, the one thing I would point out about it is it can be lazy writing. However, executed well, it's fine. Like I don't know, just from the art alone, killing Lois off in the way they did, I'm okay with it.
Around, like,
and also the fact that it's just, like I said, back to the thing, it's all in Superman's mind.
All those extended ones, whereas I'm guessing this one is like she actually dies. Well, but either way,
I don't think so, because she's still alive. So I mean,
is she?
Yeah,
is she
already?
She's still alive in comics. So yeah, that's somebody could correct me in chat, because I haven't read it myself, but I think that the way they described it is most of them was just it was all Superman thinking it.
Right.
See, Superman has a right to worry and think that, because she gets herself into trouble, to try and do her reporter thing. She takes the investigative journalism a little far, and gets herself in dangerous situations all the time. So it makes sense for him to freak out, like, holy shit, if she goes and does such and such like she wants to, all these things could happen.
Well, and also one of the things to keep in mind, it's not just the fridging that people are pissed off about. Part of the issue is, one, this is something that's being sold exclusively at Walmart. And Walmart sells itself as being, like, family friendly and shit. Because that seems to be part of the issue, is there's no thing on there saying, hey, warning, graphic material. So, people are going out every, so often when these things are released, getting them for their kids.
Okay, now that part I can understand people being pissed about, because
I don't, fuck them. Your kids they need to learn, send them kids to rotten.com. They'll fucking lose those precious sensibilities real goddamn quick.
I mean, I can understand anybody siding with parents that are like, oh, it's a Superman comic, and then their kid opens it and there's all that shit in there. I mean, I can understand if there's no warning.
Do you see where we're at now? Do you see where we're at now? We have officially crossed the Rubicon.
Yeah.
That the leftist, progressive social justice warriors are the religious right.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we've been there for the last 5 years.
But this is like, think of the children. Think of the children. We don't want to see women getting hurt. This is bad. We need to get these books off the shelf. This is literally the religious right. We've come full circle, my friends. It's happened.
I knew it was going to happen. It was only a matter of fucking time. This shit happens all the fucking time.
Happens all the time.
The only way to avoid the accusation of fridging is to let a woman die and it not matter.
I mean, women in comics don't matter anyway, so
Right? Which would then be pointless. They'd probably redefine it as fridging in regards to how it may plausibly affect the story somewhere. I think they should just, that some writers should just get pissed off and just randomly start off in chicks for no reason.
You know what the funniest thing about this? Like, fridging is the only trope I've seen where people are like actively pissy when it gets employed.
Yeah.
Because, like, the entire point, like, if you spend any time on tvtropes.com where you do what I do and spend way too much fucking time there, tropes are not inherently bad. It's only when they're lazily done as cliches that they're a problem.
It would be literally if, like, every death of a woman is a fridging. Like, actual in the fridge.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? I look at it like, during Infinite Crisis, Jade, who was one of, you know, she was a Green Lantern at one time, but she had Green Lantern powers, but she wasn't a Green Lantern. It was kind of weird because she inherited some of her father's powers because he was the original Green Lantern, but he wasn't a part of the Green Lantern Corps. It gets confusing. Anyway.
You sound like
At one point, you know, in that story, she dies, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when she died, of all people, Kyle Rayner takes her powers and becomes Ion again. So I said, I'm surprised there wasn't a lot of screaming about fridging in that regard because she died for the purpose of advancing him to more power.
Yeah. Again, it's like they choose when to be pissed off about this shit.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they don't care. Other times, like I think part of it is like the children angle. Like, if it was just Lois Lane dies again, whatever, no big deal. But because it's also a Walmart exclusive book that one could argue is targeted more towards a younger audience, I think that's part of what's fueling this fire. But they just don't want media to be entertaining or, you know, interesting.
I mean, the ultimate thing is they don't want media to be interesting, and they're going to call everything fridging. But the only leg they have to stand on really is, I can understand that it being at Walmart, no warning. Superman's always seen as, you know, the Boy Scout.
The character is, but I mean, if you've read any Superman comic, that shit gets fucking dark.
Oh yeah, I know, but I'm saying the character. I mean, so if you have kids that like comics and you've never given two shits about comics, but you see Superman, you're like, it's just Superman. So,
well, yeah, I mean, what I'm saying is that's still like that. People shouldn't be getting pissed off just because it was at a fucking Walmart. Like, you can buy Game of Thrones at fucking Walmart.
Yeah. No, like, I would be more that there's not like any kind of warning, or it's not considered. It wasn't considered a more mature audience.
I can understand saying that, you know, there are scenes depicted in here of a mature nature. You know,
because Walmart flat out has like comics labeled that they are for more mature. Like that pack I was talking about that had a guaranteed one Deadpool in every one. That was a grab bag that was specifically mature audiences or whatever grab bag.
Okay, let me read the chat real quick before we continue. Matanui, you know, he tagged me and said, "Fridging happens to both male and females. I mean, one of the biggest cliches is the dead parent's origin. That's true. I mean,
yeah,
right, and something I said earlier.
yeah, but it is literally, you know, that is. But the thing is, I think it shouldn't be called fridging. It is called fridging because of fat ass Gail Simone. I'm sorry. I'm just mad now. So I'm letting it all hang out. I'm sorry, Piper.
All her fault.
You can forgive me later. But that.
I mean, technically, it's not because of Gail, but
well, the term of fridging is because of Gail.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the term "women in refrigerators" does not come from Gail.
Yes, it does.
No, it came from a feminist back in like the 90s, I believe. I don't think it was Gail Simone.
Gail Simone.
It was Gail.
Was it really?
Gail.
Yes, she's the one that wrote the fucking article. Yes.
Yes. Okay. And that's how she got her job in the comics.
Yeah, that's why we're so pissed off about it. Yeah, she literally came up with the term.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why we pick on her so much. But
yeah,
I could see it as like, if you want to call it anything, it should be a death trope, where death is used to further a story or a character or whatever, or motivation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because death of Uncle Ben led to Spider-Man taking responsibility. Death of Bruce Wayne's parents led him to become Batman. You know?
Right.
I could go on and on with different deaths that have caused XYZ to happen. You know?
Well, it's just death carries so much weight.
Mm-hmm.
But at least the death of the family members one has gotten used so much that it's a running joke at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Gail tried to make the women in refrigerators thing a running joke because she came up with that because of one comic.
Yeah, that was Green Lantern.
Yeah.
Forgot which one what issue it was, but it was
Yeah, I forgot.
Kyle Rayner comes home and finds his girlfriend stuffed in a refrigerator dead.
Right.
And yeah. Which my thing was, it was less to me that, his girlfriend died in, gruesome way. It was more to me to show that less that, Kyle needed that motivation. It was more to me to show that Major Force was a sicko.
Yeah.
See, and that's what I'm saying. Death is a heavy thing, and sometimes it's used not to, it's used to illustrate just how messed up the villain is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like the weird thing is, like, I've never heard anybody talk about the death of Gwen Stacy and call it fridging.
Right.
Like, it all seems to be like whatever emotional impact people, and maybe it's because like the way it was contextualized in Spider-Man was like he was trying to save her, and Peter accidentally kills Gwen by snapping her fucking neck.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the difference between that situation and what happened with Kyle and his girlfriend, where, the villain was like, well, I'm going to show you and I'm going to kill your fucking girlfriend. Here you go.
Mm-hmm. And you're going to find her in your fridge when you go get a glass of milk. Take that, Boy Scout, kind of thing.
Right. But I don't know. It just feels like, at least to have some level, like if fridging is a problem, which I don't think fucking is, they're fictional fucking characters. Get the fuck over it.
Right.
Yeah.
Be consistent.
Yeah.
Have an issue. If you want to have an issue with female characters being killed off, have a consistent issue with it. Don't pick and choose, because again, nobody said shit about when Lois died in fucking Injustice.
Yeah.
Nobody, but they're saying shit now. What the fuck's the difference?
And not only that.
And again, nobody says shit when the exact same scenarios happen for a male character to move a female character's fucking story.
What's funny to me, you bring up Injustice, which I find funny, is that, of course, nobody brought up about Lois, but what about the very, very gruesome way that Superman killed the Joker, right?
Well, I mean, Joker deserved it.
He deserved it. I'm not saying he didn't, but
yeah,
literally ripped his hand, put his hand through him. And it wasn't just like put his hand through him and, it was nice and clean, but the Joker's dead. No, you'd see blood and guts and bits all over Superman's hand and shit, Mike Miller drew that, and it was, good job, Mike. But he really put it on for that. That one time, that's one of the few times physics work the way they should in a superhero story. With the snap, with Gwen breaking her neck when Spider-Man tried to save her.
Yeah.
Yeah, no one said shit when Kyra died in Planet Hulk. That's a good point. Hulk's like new girlfriend, fucking dies with his pregnant. She was pregnant with his child. Luckily, the child lived because Hulk. But that was used as a purpose of fucking furthering the story.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, that's a prime example of fucking fridging. Like, she was literally killed off so Hulk could get more mad to fucking fuck up Earth.
Right.
Like, it happens all the fucking time with so many, like, characters of every race, gender, orientation. It fucking happens all the fucking time. Because people who write comics are fucking lazy.
Yeah. I mean, how many times? I mean, like, except for a few, how many have just like a Captain Marvel, Marvel, just die of cancer? You know what I mean? Just like, I got cancer and I'm dying.
Whoops, got the cancery dues.
Yeah, so it always has to be, most of the time it's a dramatic death. It's like, and like I said, 9 times out of 10, and it's like you said though, it's a trope. Killing off a family member, friend, whatever, somebody close to the character is a trope. I'm not going to say it's not. It's all in the way it's executed. right?
Mm-hmm.
My opinion, when Kyle found his girlfriend in the fridge, that was shocking.
Yeah, it definitely was.
That's like, holy shit. Major Force is an asshole, you know?
Well, yeah, it's the exact fucking point that you made. It was less to be like, oh, we're gonna kill this character, this female character, to give Kyle the resolve he has to stop the bad guy. No, it was more to show this guy ain't fucking around. He's a fucking menace.
Yeah,
like because you don't really see a whole lot of that shit.
No,
like at that time you weren't, but like, so that's what made that shit so fucking impactful.
Right. It's kind of like with the, with Identity Crisis. You know, we find out, oh shit, Dr. Light's he's just a fucking terrible piece of shit.
That dude that we thought was kind of stupid.
Yeah.
was once, holy crap.
He was a lot more powerful than they ever let on.
And
B, an actual terrible human being. Like raping another man's wife,
like you do.
And like they said, that was a legitimate, because how they say most of the time rape is about power, not about sexual pleasure. That was a power. Yeah. That was all about power.
Yeah, that was what that was for.
Yeah.
That one. Yeah.
I mean, sad that it, obviously sad that it happened to Sue. That was a very emotional scene. When reading it and stuff. But it got the point across. That was, in my opinion, not lazy.
Yeah.
Because it got the point across that, oh shit, Dr. Light was a piece of fucking garbage.
Mm-hmm.
And in my opinion,
he only did that simply because she happened to be there. There wasn't even any, I'm going to do this to get at somebody. It was, oh, there's somebody here. Oh, neat.
Yeah.
Well, I know who that is.
I think wasn't part of it was he had some sort of infatuation with her.
No. He knew who she was because Ralph was, elongated man. He was open about his, real identity.
Oh, right.
So, Ralph didn't, it's literally, check the records. Who's Ralph Dibney married to? Sue Dibney,
Mm-hmm.
And, they said that she would just come and hang out in the watchtower just to watch the stars, look at the stars and stuff. So he figured out a way to get, and she just happened to be there. So
because he was there for something else. It wasn't him hunting her down to do that to get at anybody.
I think he had some kind of weapon or something like that he was going to steal back.
Yeah, he was trying to get a weapon back.
Yeah, and so she happened to be there, and then he just took it to the extreme.
Mm.
So, yeah.
If y'all remember, he even went as far as to show, with his light constructs, he could show images of what he did.
Right.
I'm honestly surprised, somebody like Hawkman didn't just kill him,
Yeah.
Forgetting, that'd be kind of my response. I was like, I'm not going to wipe his mind. I'm going to fucking bash his skull in. So yeah, that's. I think we get to the point where it's all. Getting back to the whole situation is what we're going to be. What are we going to be upset about today? Essentially,
Yeah.
And like I said, I could read this entire article, but I'm not going to.
my dude, this is why I read Japanese comics.
I can understand that. Let's see what the comments are saying about this. Let's see. I was trying to say before for my reply, Escape into the Wild, this storyline about Superman pushing his limits, both physical and emotional. The Lois sequence is likely his worst nightmare. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't bothered to read it yet, but I hear it's awful, so I pull it immediately before my kid goes nuts because of it. Oh man, that's a long man. Holy crap! This guy's response is longer than the article.
God damn.
Man, oh man, oh man. But yeah, no. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like I said, as soon as I saw the fridging, the conversation took a whole other different tone. That just
Moral of the story is, kids, read more manga, because the Japanese don't give a fuck about this shit.
Yeah,
and their stories are more compelling most of the time.
They
usually because their freaking characters most of the time stay dead when they die.
Here's a real turning point for you, Wayne.
Mm-hmm.
I read a fucking manga that's about a elderly male gay couple a tranny, I think a lesbian, and like a non-binary chick. Actually interesting to read.
Yeah,
because it's literally about these 5 people. They create a club where they can like hang out. It's like their quote unquote safe space away from people who don't really understand them and don't try to understand them. It's not preachy. It's just what it's just the beauty of what people do when they finally find the place where they can be themselves.
Right.
And like, see, that's one of the things that I love about like Japanese storytelling, that they want to focus more on like character interactions and in some cases making you feel good rather than like, you should feel bad because bad things sometimes happen in real life.
Yeah. You know, it's funny because we were talking about manga. I was talking to Rena the other day, Socks, and we were talking about the mangas and stuff. And one of the points she made about mangas, which I think is a very good point, 9 times out of 10, these mangas have the same, you know, it's usually a writer-artist person. You know, they're writing and, you know, doing the art.
Yeah,
so,
a lot of times they're both. Yeah.
So it's very consistent.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's like, you know, it's going to have a consistent storyline and stuff like that. Let's say Sword Art. I guess that SOA is Sword Art Online, going woke.
Yeah, sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah, who cares?
I mean, SAO has always been shit, so them going woke is fine. Fuck
Yeah. That's funny.
Get woke, go broke. That's what they say. Yeah, I mean that's pretty much.
I mean, I got owls talking shit about Dragon Ball though.
Oh well, you know, everybody's entitled to their opinion.
How dare you say Dragon Ball isn't compelling just because it should have ended at the Frieza saga?
Here, and they became bad, so now they're remembered as being not that great, but they really would have been.
And then you got Dragon Ball Super, and Dragon Ball Super is really fucking garbage.
That's your opinion, but you're also a peasant, so that's okay.
It's the correct opinion. You eat my ass.
Like I said, it's your opinion, and you're entitled to be wrong.
But I'm not wrong though, because I'm not the person who's like, I like a series where one of the transformations is literally called Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan.
So, they called it Super Saiyan Blue after that. Thank you very much. Get out of here.
Yeah, because after they realized, like, if we call it the other thing, that's really fucking dumb.
No, I agree. I think most people would agree that was really stupid. Like, what the fuck is this?
Dragon Ball is like the perfect example of like power creep.
Yeah,
because that's I know kind of the bad place that Toriyama was in after he introduced like the whole idea of Super Saiyan, because like Super Saiyan was supposed to end. So like as you start and here's my thing, I think Super Saiyan 2 was a great fucking idea, specifically, you know? Right.
And so I like the idea of like, you know, Goku come up. I think it was during that particular part of the saga, it was a great idea. Goku said, "Hey, why don't we just hang out as Super Saiyans?" Basically, you get to a point where you know, because the whole thing about originally when they would go Super Saiyan was the endurance.
Yeah,
it was hard to maintain it for but that whole part where it's like you could tell Goku knew something was up. You know, he knew there was something in Gohan that he could draw out, but he knew he had to get him to a point where he's okay at this level. Right. You know, he's basically me at this level. You know. And if I can get him to surpass me, then I know that he's he's going to be that much more stronger and everything like that. Right. I don't think any of them thought he was going to unlock a new form, but as Dragon Ball goes, that's what happens.
Right. Well, 'cause I think when that form was first introduced, it wasn't even supposed to be like here's the second grade of it. It's just Gohan had reached his emotional climax, as it were. Right. And it just because that was Gohan's entire thing, was like, even when he fought Raditz, like it was a huge surge of emotion. Yeah. Yeah, he was very emotional, and it made his power level rise to these insane levels. Yeah. And basically you put him in a corner, and that's what fucking happened. So yeah.
I like that.
Piper, you shut the fuck up.
And the fact that I always like the fact that he wilded out because of a character he didn't even know. Like, oh no,
the description is very misleading of this stream. We forgot Batman, Dong, and Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
But no, so let's now talk about the final thing I want to talk about tonight, and that's the Captain Marvel. New Captain Marvel trailer. The only Dragon Ball should be. Damn.
Damn dog.
All right. I don't even want to repeat that on stream.
Dog. That should be the new name. That should be the new title of the today night stream. Dong and Ball.
Dong and Ball.
But it has to be balls with a Z.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dong and Balls. Yeah. You could even like do it to the tune of the original Dragon Ball. The American tune. She needs to lay off the laughing gas. That's not you're stuck with her.
We're all stuck with her.
So anyway, Shazam trailer. I keep wanting to call it Captain Marvel.
I mean, but he is Captain Marvel.
He is Captain Marvel, but
we've unlocked a new Piper laugh.
This is Piper Laugh 2.
We've reached Super Piper laugh.
Eventually, we're gonna have Super Piper Laugh, Super Piper. We'll stop talking about.
Anyway, Shazam, good trailer.
Yeah, good.
Piper,
trailer.
why do you fucking hate it?
Yeah,
he's trying to get off balls.
Answer my question, Piper. Why do you hate the new trailer? Why do you hate fun?
I don't hate fun. It looks funny. It looks better than Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
So you're saying DC is releasing a superior Captain Marvel movie?
Yes. They're finally releasing a movie that'll be more entertaining. Yeah. That's what I think that from the trailers, I think they did that well. The only mess stuff I have is it still kind of has that annoying DC, everything in the trailers is dark.
Yeah, but that's...
I mean, but that's just
That's because they shot a lot of it at night. That was a lot of the night stuff. I
know. I would like... But see... a lot of times that's an entire Marvel, or not entire Marvel, an entire freaking DC movie, and that's what I'm worried about because that's the entire trailer so far.
Here's the problem. But here's the thing, though. Like when people make fun of DC for being dark, they're not talking about the time of day it is.
Yeah, they're talking about like.
No, I mean I'm talking about in films. Yeah. No, there's gritty thing. I'm talking about the lighting in all of the films.
Yeah,
they do that. It's bullshit.
Yeah, but I don't think you're going to get.
They can do some shit during the day.
I don't think they're doing that a lot in this one, because there was a scene like he takes on, the villain, and it's in the daytime. You know? And there was also a lot of the scene, when they were doing the shooting, I saw a lot of when they were showing like behind the scenes stuff. It was a lot of it shot during the day, so I think that it's going, it's going to have a balance because you got to have a day and night because those things still happen.
Yeah,
one thing I noticed, I'm gonna say one thing I noticed. This is a huge departure from Snyderverse. Because Snyderverse is all about. I've always said you notice this ever since fucking 300 and and stuff like that, and Sin City and whatnot. Blue screen. Yeah. You know what I mean? A lot of that stylized blue screen. This isn't, we're making it look real, but it's not really real. This actually looks like, this actually looks kind of real, like, I'm not saying like grim and gritty real. I'm talking about like him punching, that scene where he punches the pillar, like, it's in my screenshot here. He punches the pillar and he's really excited about that. He says, I'm super strong,
Yeah.
And the part when the first time he tries to fly, he goes, and then falls down. That was great. The problem is that DC takes the design ideas from David Goyer, who, if he could, will film every movie with everyone wearing black at night in the rain with no lights or anything. Yeah.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. That's just where the meth part comes in, because I'm like, this kind of like Superman, this had a chance to really be a lot more.
But like I said, this gets me excited because the tone,
Yeah, the tone's a lot lighter.
The Superman tone was like grim, dark, grim, grim, dark, grim.
Yeah.
And then
that I am happy about is that's why I say it looks like it would be actually more entertaining.
And then we got to
I just don't like that they went with the same color scheme, whatever lighting scale for the.
But They didn't, because there's still scenes where he's doing shit during the day, though.
Yeah, and also his costume lights up, which I really like.
Yeah.
I really like that there's light, and it, I'm laughing.
His out of all of them, his costume looks the least, like
offensive,
desaturized or whatever color wise.
He was actually a lot of reds, a lot of
Yeah, like he actually has his color. It's not like Wonder Woman, Superman. Their costumes could have been so much better. But they had to go with this dark crap.
That was 2 hours of black screen with the occasional silhouette and flash of light. He would, yeah.
I don't remember seeing any daytime scenes though that weren't cloudy and no blue sky.
Go back and look. There was when he takes on the first time he runs to the villain. There is a Stark in the daylight scene. If I remember correctly.
And that's the second trailer.
Yeah, the second trailer.
Were you watching the right one?
There's the thing.
Yeah, I watched. I've seen both.
Here's the thing. There's a trailer, and then there's the international trailer. The international trailer usually shows more shit. That might be where we're having a discrepancy.
I just put official trailer number 2.
The one I saw had 2 trailers. It showed one trailer, and then it showed another one right after that, which was the international trailer. The international trailer showed...
I just linked the one that I watched, and it's got a couple of daylight scenes.
Okay, so...
And I'm going to be honest, if that's the thing where you're like, there's not enough daytime scenes, that's the most nitpicky fucking shit I've ever heard in my life.
No, that just makes it go from, oh man, this is going to be awesome, to, I hope it's good. It's got
a feeling. I don't know about sales. I'm not gonna say anything.
Okay, yeah, no, I see him fighting the bad guy in the dark.
No,
in a place in the dark, and then for a second, that doesn't even make fucking sense.
How is he fighting
Piper?
Yeah.
Why do you fucking hate everything?
Yeah, you're
all the rest of this shit. Okay, the bus. There was like some blue sky. Everything else is gray.
I think you're just a terrible person, is what this is.
Yeah, just
I just don't like gray skies, dude. I have to live in gray sky for the majority of the year.
Oh my god,
the doctor.
It's a
wait. Stop. See, Piper, you might be confused. The muscly man in the red and yellow with black hair is Shazam. The muscly man in the red and yellow with the blonde hair is Captain Marvel. Damn it. Oh, we've reached Piper Giggle 3. The ascension has happened.
Stop it.
So what we've learned today is that if you were watching a movie and it doesn't have more daytime scenes and nighttime scenes, it's automatically bad in Piper's book.
Yeah.
Also,
I didn't say it was bad. I just said
you literally said it made it go from, oh man, this is gonna be awesome, to I hope it's good. No. Fuck you. It's really great. Eat my ass. It's heartwarming. It's a kid. He gets to be a hero, and you're like, it's too fucking dark. Eat my tape. Fuck you.
Oh god.
No, I just want to make sure that some daytime without gray skies happens, because I'm so tired of that.
I have a feeling it will, because this is very more lighthearted than grim dark.
Yeah, I was gonna say, compared to all other DC trailers, this one makes me actually theater, which is
this one
that's really saying something. I will actually pay money to watch this one instead of waiting until it goes on Netflix like 2 months later.
and also, just to say, hey, how about a guy who gets superpowers who's actually excited about it?
Right?
He's like, this is fucking awesome.
I'm just worried it's gonna be a bait and switch.
Let me read the thing. It's like black screen with flashes of light and silhouettes. It wasn't a scene that was super bad or whatever the movie was called. Originally correct. Okay, let's see. Graded 0.5. Sir, have you seen AVP Requiem? That movie was so damn dark it was annoying. It gets me upset when some movies are so dark that when I watch them at home, like if I bring them home on my nice 4K HD TV, and I still can't see shit. You know what I mean? That annoys me. I get that. It's because the bad stuff always happens in the dark. Bad guys hit at night, hence why the battles happen at night. Oh yeah, that's true. There's no guaranteeing anything's going to be good. This is true. Yeah, I was just say, so far so good is I guess would be the best way.
That's why my immediate
See, now
response is some of the things I say are jokes.
Yeah.
That's a better way to put what I'm trying to describe of how I feel. It's more like I'm really happy because it makes me want to watch it, but at the same time, there's this in me because it's still DC. Like it's still a DC movie, and it still looks kind of like a DC movie.
That I can understand. That
that's more or less where I'm at.
Okay,
it's really saying something when I'm saying I might actually want to go to
and like I said,
theater to watch it instead of waiting.
What I was going to say earlier, I'm not going to put a monetary thing on it. You know, I don't want not monetarily, but I feel that Shazam will be a better movie than Captain Marvel.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think it'll do better.
I think
it will do better.
If DC plays their cards right, this could be their turning point in their film franchise.
Right? Mm-hmm. And all they had to do was let some fucking color on the goddamn screen.
And I agree with you, Piper. Like,
and even Wonder Woman, dude, she's not allowed to wear colors, apparently.
Yeah, it was really desaturated.
Yeah, they're desaturated.
I hate that shit.
That's what I was like, why is it? I'm okay. I can get behind Superman's look in the movies, right? You know, the look of the costume.
It's got like that. Almost looks like armor.
Yeah, just brighten it up a little bit. Just make it a little more, give it a little more blue.
Just let it actually be fucking blue and red, not this dark navy and washed out red.
Like burgundy, right? Give me some brights.
Why?
Give me some brights. Give me some brights. It's okay. It's superheroes. It's supposed to be bright and cool. Look at
their goddamn costumes.
There was a time. There was a time where they said, you can't do certain colors in movies because it won't look good, and that's why we ended up with the BDSM X-Men.
At least it looks like a uniform.
Yeah,
I mean, I'll give them that. It looked like they were all in a uniform instead of everybody just kind of doing their own crazy shit.
But that's the reason why we never got the classic Wolverine costume because
which saddens me because I want to see Hugh Jackman in that shit.
Yeah.
Right?
At least one time.
They even make fun of it in the first movie.
Yeah, talking about yellow spandex. Like, get out of here.
Yeah.
It's like, there you go. There's another reason I hate Cyclops. Fuck Cyclops. That's why he says bullshit like that. Get the fuck out of here.
Come on, man. Cyclops is a good boy.
Oh, yeah. Cyclops literally did nothing wrong, right? Like,
man, he knew how to get shit done. Look, the version of Cyclops that we did in that fucking retcon, compelling as fuck character.
Yeah. Too bad he doesn't exist.
What's that?
I said, too bad he doesn't exist.
But
he could.
Yeah, he could.
There's a good thing. One of the really good things about Cyclops, and a lot that I think Marvel does a little more than DC does, is good guys that are still pieces of shit. Like that's more realistic. Honestly, instead of everybody being nice people or positive or whatever, it can be like, yeah, this person's saving the day, but he's also a raging dick and nobody likes him. Or he also beats his wife, so maybe we shouldn't use him as much.
Yeah.
It's good to have characters that you don't like and not always have to be the villains.
I agree with that.
Just like it's nice having villains that you actually like. Like, oh man, I really like them and I get where they're coming from. That's just not how to go about it, but I understand why they're going about it that way.
Yeah, Cyclops was a weenie.
I like characters that make you torn between, and that's why I like anime. I mean manga.
I mean anime is all right too.
Yeah, well, it's true. It's usually just an adaptation.
Yeah, usually, unless they're doing. But there's very few anime only.
And tons of villains there. They're really good at making villains that'll either creep you out, but sometimes they'll creep you out because they're you. Like, they're you if you didn't give a shit. Or they'll creep you out because they're just freaking twisted. Like, they make good villains. Their heroes are pretty tropey most of the time, but their villains are, like, really good over there.
Well, that's because in a lot of cases you can have more fun with a villainous character.
Yeah.
Because with heroes, you do kind of have, you have some wiggle room, if you want to make, an anti-hero or some shit like that.
Yeah.
But with villains, or especially, with anti-villains, you have a lot more room to maneuver in how you want to characterize them. A perfect example would be, even though both these characters are pretty well done, Guts and Griffith from Berserk.
Yeah. Oh my god, Berserk. I need to. They need to finish writing it. I need.
Yeah,
I really
good
do.
luck with that.
Oh god, I really need
we're gonna run into a Song of Ice and Fire with that shit.
Oh my god. I mean, need Griffith to die.
Miura's fucking been writing that shit since the late '80s. That shit's luckily he's like in his 50s, so he's like it's not as likely as like with George R. R. Martin.
When I finally got into Berserk and started reading Berserk and got to as much as I could get a hold of, I went and looked him up because I was like, he's not going to just up and die and not finish this, right? Like,
Now he's
I had to go look him up and make sure.
Hold on, we got a situation in the chat here.
Uh-oh.
My dog has been absolutely glaring at me for like 30 minutes straight now. Your dog is going to kill you.
Your dog's gonna.
You're going to go to sleep. You're going to go to sleep, and your dog's going to throat you. That's what's going to happen. He's going to.
Yeah. You can give a the good guy plenty of flaws. The problem is there's a line where their flaws would take them into. Well, now they're a villain. They're not really the good guy.
You don't really. I mean, you don't really.
But with villains, you can go like all over the place in any direction.
I mean, the shit we were just talking about, like we were just talking about Berserk. Like, have you seen some of the shit that Guts gets up to? Like you seen when he gets the fucking Berserker armor?
Yeah.
When he almost raped somebody?
Because he is he's that's something interesting about that was he's treading into villain area, whereas you've got Griffith, who was hanging out in good guy area, showed he's fit. But I'm not caught up either. Like,
all right, man, all right.
The last thing I read, they were in what's her face's head.
Why are we talking about Berserk?
And there was penises everywhere.
It seems like at least like once every stream, y'all start talking about Berserk, and I'm just like my eyes glaze over.
Nigga, have you read it?
Y'all talk about fucking Dragon Ball more than I talk about Berserk.
It's about equal, honestly.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. You should read it. It's very uncomfortable.
It's not really that uncomfortable, except for the horse rape scene is kind of funny.
It was for me, but that's also why I kept reading it.
Hold your rape horses. I love that laugh that Wayne had.
I just like, what can you do in that situation? Just laugh. Okay, well, I think we're done for the night.
Yeah.
But I will say, if everything goes well, we're going to have a special guest tomorrow night. It's trying to get in the chat here. Okay, in the screen here. This last, Crystal McGee. She has currently has a. You met her the other night on the what's his name stream? Robert
yeah.
Stream.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's a good lass. She's got an Indiegogo currently up. And we're going to. I'm just going to click on it right here. Give a little preview of it. Yeah, The Good Night. Come on, load. Give me a. The Good Night Night Realm #1 is currently on Indiegogo, and we're going to talk to her tomorrow night and talk to her about her project and all that stuff. You know, I'm excited. It's going to be the first interview ever. Yay!
It should be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you should just change the name of this one to Dong and Ballsy.
I'm not going to do that.
It should be Dong and Ballsy featuring Griffith from the Berserk series.
Also featuring Dante from Devil May Cry.
A quote of the evening, Piper, eat my...
Because what was funny, before that you said, eat my ass. And then you...
Yes.
If you could eat my ass and my taint. Fucking... enjoy the fucking buffet. You fucking...
Oh my god.
Daylight scenes. You fucking... Get out of here.
I just don't. I'm tired of when it's daytime, it has to be gray. Like, not everything has to happen in the fucking rain. Like, okay. For real.
Yeah, we get it.
Bad things happen in not the rain, too.
It's happening not the rain.
What? Oh, my God.
Piper, shut up.
Piper, you're so dumb.
I can't anymore. I'm just okay. Yeah, I'm ending the stream. That's it.
You're mean.
See you later.
It was a good night. Y'all have a good one. We'll see you tomorrow night. Like I said, Crystal should be joining us. I got to send her a link so she can get used to the autism that we are. Y'all have a good night. Thank you.
Night.